Oh, hey. I don't know why my music just stopped. It's not supposed to. I don't know what's going on, Josh. I tell you. Let's get that music rolling again. I don't know what's happening there. It's supposed to still be rolling. Oh, I know why. I got to fix that. I'll fix that right now while we're on the air. Well, why not make changes?
Still working out the bugs.
Why not make changes while I'm on air? That always sounds like a good thing. There we go.
Nothing could possibly go.
You know, you got all these things in the new studio and the new podcast area, and you're trying to make sure all these things are working, and you forget one little detail, and it's all set here. So, hey, everybody, I'm Scott Pienta. Welcome. So this is news, so this is news, or however you want to say it. That's us right here.
This is news.
So this is news, and
this is news.
So this is news.
This is news.
There you go. You can say it different ways. And the voice that you're hearing is none other than my co-host on the show, Mr. Josh Coletta.
Good afternoon.
And so, hey, you're welcome. This is a podcast about just different things on the internet, different things in public eye, in the news,
community,
in the community, just a
life
different
in general.
Life in general. I guess you could say we could call it. So this is life.
Yeah.
In general. Could we do that? I don't know. We might be able to do that.
You could change it to, "Are you for real?"
Yeah, trying to see.
Is this really happening?
Yeah, is this really going on? I'm trying to share this to. Where do I try to share it to? I don't know why it's not going anywhere. It's 50 things you got to do here, and I don't get it. Well, whatever.
We just need to set up shortcuts to turn everything on and off at once.
Everything on, everything off, everything going here, everything going there, and it's trying to send it to a different page, Josh. And I don't know why it's not doing this. But anyways, hey, guess what? Well, we've got a full show coming up, and I give up. Whatever. I'm losing time on my viewers are not.
Couldn't tell you.
They're not amused by me trying to figure out Facebook today right now. So
I don't know. They may be amused.
Hey, what's going on? It is Richard Ignacio. Hey, he's my guy from California.
Richard.
So what's going on, Richard? So he's had to say hello from all the way from California.
Yep.
So this is new. He can't understand how he's saying it. I don't know. He has to send us a video one, I guess. You know what I mean? Audio
Here's
clip.
an idea.
Yeah.
All of our viewers should send us either video or audio recordings of them saying, "So this is news."
Yeah, we could open with that.
Yeah.
Why not? Okay. We could do that. We've got the time on our hands to do that.
I'm putting together a new intro tonight, so, the sooner the better.
The sooner the better is right. So, hey, this, like I said, this is a show about us here in the world of podcasting and different things. We want to kind of bring a light to different scenarios, and it could be funny, it could be sad, could be in between. It doesn't matter, but do we want to hear from you? You're more than welcome. We're watching our chat groups here online. We are going out to YouTube as well as we are going out to Facebook, so either platform you want to watch us on, hey, feel free to dial us in and say your piece, I guess. And we're going to be bringing up, I'm going to be excited about this, in the near future, we will be bringing in virtual guests on our live call-ins. They'll be able to call into the show and be online, whether it's Skype or whatever else. You can be able to call online. So we're excited about having that feature here as well, Josh. So, hey, let's get right into the shows. Hey, what's going on, Jacob? Richard also says, or you could call it something else, I guess. So that's clean enough. We can say that, right, Richard? I guess the WTF. We can say that. We can say that. Why not? So hey, so let's get right on into the news here. Let me bring up this one. Oop, I forgot to bring my script up here in front of me, Josh.
Oh,
I'm batting 1,000 today. So let's get right on into it. And this first story right here is going to be just about the Internal Revenue Service. So, tax season, Josh, is right around the corner, and tax forms can seem a daunting and confusing task. Do you find it to be that? But in an effort to simplify the process, the IRS has overhauled the federal income withholding form. For the first time in years, the IRS updated the federal income withholding form, or the better known as the W-4. The change reflects the new tax code Congress approved in 2017. The new form has been divided into 5 easy steps, they say.
All right.
You can skip questions that don't apply to your situation. I have no money, skip. One major change is that
about mine every year.
One major change is that it took away allowances because the new tax law eliminated personal exemptions. Dang it, man! I can't do that no more. But instead, the inform directly asks how many children and dependents you have, and you have to multiply that number by the amount of federal tax credits. It also simplified.
So basically, you're doing the math for them.
Yeah, they're just lazy.
Yes.
What do you expect? Federal government's over budget anyways. They can't ask them to work any harder. Instead, the form directly asks you. Oh, I already said that, didn't I? It also simplified the section about other income. Now you have to just check a box if you work 2 jobs, or if you have a spouse who works. If you only need to fill out a W form if you started a new job in 2020. So there you go. And then let's see what else has it done. The buddy tax special encourage your workers to review their withholdings each year. If too little is deducted, you may get a smaller refund than you initially anticipated, Josh. So,
or possibly owe money.
Yeah, so that's the problem is you're going to owe money or what case the scenario is. So, yeah.
And of course, the downside, the argument for the other side of that is if you deduct too much, you're basically giving the government an interest-free loan for the financial year. So
that's it, and that's why it's kind of that's why it's always really good to know roughly where you're at, and every year you should adjust it. Yeah, if you're giving too much back the same year, and especially you're in a salary job, and your paycheck is set every single year, you should be adjusting that. Going, hey, you know what? I'm tired of getting. A lot of people like my daughter. She goes, oh, I'm getting back $3,000 this year, or $2,000, whatever the amount is. Oh man, we're getting so much money back.
The keyword there is back.
But yeah, and now I can say if it is dealing with the tax credits, for child and stuff like that, that's a bonus. But I'm talking like if you're just getting your money, like my son who has no kids and lives at home for right now until next month and he moves out, and but he goes, well, I got back $1,500. Well, that's $1,500 you didn't get, shouldn't have gotten back.
Yeah.
You should have been able to just either
keep it yourself.
The goal is either to pay very little, like $50 or $100, or get back $50 or $100. So that's kind of really your goal. So you should be adjusting your income accordingly. So that's my Scotty P's tax tip of the day.
Have you seen that meme that floats around every so often? That it's a conversation between the IRS and the average citizen. That okay, you have to fill out this form. Okay, so. Where do I get this information? Oh, we'll send you the information to fill out the form. So you have all of this, and you want me to do it? Yeah, that's how this works.
That's how it works, man. Hey, what do you expect, man?
So can I tell you to just do it yourself? No, we'll throw you in jail if you do that. That's you don't do it yourself, you're gonna go to prison.
Yeah, so that's the way. I guess that's the way it goes. Hey, we were at breakfast this morning, and I throw a shout out to Jessie for checking us out. Hey, she gave us good coffee this morning, and said she says I was listening to you guys yesterday, and you guys suck. I know she didn't say that. She says I was listening to you guys yesterday, and that's the way it goes. That's a WT story. Is that what he said?
Yeah, that's a WTF story.
Oh, WTF story. Yeah, that is a WTF.
He blanked the F.
He blanked the F. I couldn't see it on the screen.
We can say the F. Yeah, we won't say the full word.
We'll just won't say the full word. I mean, Richard, listen, man, this is a low budget operation. The FCC is not paying attention to us. Plus, we're online, so
the FCC,
it all goes.
Doesn't have any jurisdiction over us.
It's we're rebels.
We can tell them to go themselves.
Yeah, rebels. Hey, we used the beat button there. We had our 5-second delay. Hey, we're getting into the next story, Josh. Well, guess what? We got our next story coming up here, and this one is now we talked about I kind of told you about the story, but you didn't really.
I did. I thought that this had already happened at some point, but I could be wrong.
Now that what we're talking about is Netanyahu. For those that don't know,
Prime Minister of Israel.
I'll let you take that story, Josh.
Sure. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, if I can say his name properly, has been formally indicted on a charge of bribery and fraud and breach of trust in 3 separate corruption cases. Attorney General Avichai Mandelblit, I believe.
That's why I'm letting you take that one.
Submitted the indictment in Jerusalem District Court only hours after Netanyahu withdrew his request for parliamentary immunity, a request that he was certain to lose. In the largest of the cases, known as Case 4000, Netanyahu has been indicted on a charge of bribery and a charge of fraud and breach of trust. In the other 2 cases, known as Case 1000 and 2000 respectively, Netanyahu is indicted on a charge of fraud and breach of trust in each case. He has insisted he is innocent, calling the investigations a quote-unquote attempted coup, where have we heard that before, driven by the left and the media. Where have we heard all of that before?
I don't know. He was just in the White House, so
yes,
maybe
they were talking about a Middle East peace deal.
Maybe he got
Trump.
heard something from that side of things. I'm not quite sure, but just sounds
very familiar.
Sounds familiar, but that's one more thing is. They already got enough trouble over there, and then he's announcing a plan to dump. What was the number I seen? 40 million into the West Bank or something to try to move to the Palestinians to try to move them out of. I haven't read the whole story yet, and I haven't got the whole context yet. But that's another whole issue going on right now. I mean, it's always something. You know what I mean? So we want to hear what you have to say about Netanyahu. If you don't know about Netanyahu, well, then don't say anything, I guess. You don't have to say anything.
Learn
and teach us something.
Opinion, yes.
Yeah, it's always, hey, this is an informative show, folks. We're
Yeah.
trying to always learn something.
This is a communicative show.
This is a communicative show. You're right. And I'm always trying to learn just like anybody else because, hey, it's always important to know your surroundings and what's going on around the world. And this is one of them.
And I want to say, if I did sound down on Netanyahu there are things that he has done that I like,
Yes, you did say that.
I mean, in the past, I've praised him for all kinds of things. So, it's not like I'm just sitting here bashing the Prime Minister of Israel. I'm just saying that, this does not look good for him at all.
Right, so. And well, talking about that, so kind of going into a little more somber story here, Josh, is this one here, which you know what today marks, Josh?
I do, sadly.
The 34th anniversary of the Space Shuttle Challenger exploding after takeoff from Cape Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Tuesday marks the somber anniversary of that day, January 28th, which is today, 1986, when the Challenger lifted off and exploded 73 seconds into flight. All 7 crew members were killed, including Krista McAuliffe, who had been the first teacher in space. The explosion was a result of a rocket booster failure, which ignited in the fuel tank. Hey, Josh, do you remember where you were when that happened?
I was less than a year old at the time, but I mean, having grown up in Florida,
that was a big deal.
Every year you see the footage of it.
Well, I tell you where I know exactly where I was at. It was the weirdest thing ever. I mean, not weird it's just the scenario. I was in junior high school and in Jackson, actually just 30 minutes from here.
Yep.
And I was in chemistry class. And Mr. Mueller was his name. And they in the class we can't remember what we were doing some experiment. And he asked me to go back and, he asked certain students every now and then that were responsible. I don't know how he ever trusted me with this. But anyways, he asked me to go back, and I had to go you had to go in like the teacher's lounge, which is like the way the school was set up. It's old school. And the teacher's lounge for the science departments were surrounded by all the science classes.
Okay,
so
they had high school in North Carolina was the same.
Right. So all the teacher's lounge for the science department was in the middle, including the supply closet for like the chemicals.
Yep.
So I had to go back there, and they had a TV on, and I had to go back there. I was supposed to be getting some hydrochloric acid for some experiment, which is, I don't know why he trusted me with hydrochloric acid, but that's what I was supposed to go do. So I was going back there to get it, and just seen the takeoff. I mean, it was literally like when I was walking back there, and I came back, and I said, I didn't even get the hydrochloric acid. I just came back and said, hey, the space shuttle just blew up. Because everybody's talking about it because of McAuliffe going into space. So, everybody's talking about it. And it was, oh no, you're full of crap, whatever. I'm like, no, it's on TV right now. It just exploded. I just watched it.
It's similar to my experience with September 11th. I was sitting in my history classroom. It was, in fact, U.S. history. And ironically, we had just finished up watching a video on the Kennedy assassination. And as soon as the video stopped, tape ended and the TV went to broadcast. I think it was the Today Show at that point, and we turned it off because we thought it was just some movie or something that was being shown down the closed circuit line. And one of the other teachers came in and said, "Hey, have you seen what's going on with the World Trade Center?" And we said, "No, we thought that was just like a movie or something." And she said, "No, that's happening in real life. Someone just flew planes into the World Trade Center." So
yeah, it's one of those. It's another one of those things where it happens.
You?
Where were you?
Yep.
And hey, we want to hear from you. If you tell us where you were at, what you remember, and how old you were. I mean, if you were too young, and it's where I was working at the college when I worked at the Hillsdale College. We were talking about they brought in a pilot from the 9/11 and. He was a military pilot, but they were bringing him. He was fighting over. But a lot of those kids and this was several years ago. Some of them were only a couple of years old. You don't really go think about it. 2001, and it's like, gosh, we're in 1999,
like
and
me with the Challenger.
Some of these kids are 19, 18, 19, 20 years old, and you're just like, wow, you know what I mean? It's. To me, it was yet a few years ago, and to some people, that's, when they were born.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was still in the military when that happened. I was actually supposed to be getting out of the service. I was actually not resigning. My time was up in the Air Force. I served 7 years in the Army, and then I went to the Air Force. I was for another 3-4 years, 3.5-4 years, something like that, in the Army Air Force Guard, and I was stationed in Delaware, and I was in Philadelphia when the first plane hit. Actually, I was driving to Philadelphia to go pick up some equipment for my company, and the first plane hit. I was listening to Howard Stern on the radio, and heard, and he had mentioned
that audio
and
is
he
famous.
he didn't even believe it. He couldn't believe it himself.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And because they're just doing their routine, and they're like, Robin had come on the air and said, "This has just happened." You know what I mean? And it was just like it was just like shockwaves. So, but anyways, I had to get my phone went off, and I had to turn around and get back to, because we didn't know what was happening. So they played. And I was a crew chief on C-130, so we had to get back to the ramp and fire that up. And it just not had to do anything to do with the Challenger, which is a tragedy in itself. But I did work on the company that made the O-rings. I was doing their out of Maryland.
That was part of what was at fault there.
Yep, they were out of Maryland, right, not too far away from where I lived. And I was doing a bunch of work for their TVs and satellite systems and everything else there. Their TV satellite, so they could keep an eye on what's going on. And for the news and stuff for terrorist attacks and all that. But you should have seen the list of generals and FBI and FAA and all these names, big massive names on the guest check-in sheet when I was when I was working there, because they are the ones who made the O-rings. They just had this whole investigation thing going on, and it was pretty crazy. So
I also remember Columbia in 2003. That's the space shuttle disaster that I most remember on my own, not just relying on past footage. That I was actually staying over the weekend at a friend's house, and this was back when I was in high school. This was a guy I went to church with. We just decided to spend a weekend and hang out. And we woke up one morning and turned on the TV, and it was kind of a different situation, because we had all seen. I mean, if you recall that mission, when they first launched, there was debris that hit the I think it was like the right panel of the nose, and that had caused some damage, and there was all this speculation that, will this be a problem on re-entry? And NASA had said, no, this is going to be fine. This happens all the time. It's not a big deal. And then, of course, that happened. So, that was a bit of a different thing. It wasn't so much of a shock. It was kind of, they were wrong, and 7 people paid the price for it. But, But, I mean, both situations, very sad tragedies, and situations that, you don't want to shrug them off and say, well, that's going to happen. But at the same time, these people are essentially test pilots. This is not, a proven thing. This is
it's not 100%
experimental.
Safe. It's not still 100%
every
safe.
time you go up out of the atmosphere.
Listen, you're sitting on millions, thousands of pounds of highly volatile fuel that's only separated by a bladder. You know what I mean? And these two chemicals, when they mix together, I mean, it's extremely flammable.
Everything goes wrong.
You know, so yeah, it's a mess. You know, so it's just terrible. But I wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. This is, if you don't remember, this is what had happened. You'll see the footage. We showed the footage, but yeah, it was pretty intense.
Yeah, and if you grew up in Florida like I did, you probably have seen the license plates with the Challenger on it,
right?
With the commemoration date. So
I'm going to be changing gears, Josh, to Arizona. Or Arizona, I tell you what, if you haven't been to Arizona and gone there lately, well, some people did, and they got in a little bit of trouble. Officials with the Arizona Department of Public Safety says a traffic stop led to their largest single meth bust in the agency's history. On Friday, troopers stopped the vehicle on Interstate 15 near Littlefield. The search in the vehicle revealed 362 pounds of methamphetamine.
That's a lot of meth.
Yeah, they were going for a party, that's for sure. That much meth has an estimated street value of more than $4 million. It's the department's largest street value of bust in more than at least back up here. It's the department's largest. I'm going to get so much information here. Single meth bust to date. Authorities identified the driver as 38-year-old Maurice Mason of Illinois, so he's not too far from Michigan.
No.
And his wife, who was a passenger, as 52-year-old Julie Mason of Iowa. So they must be right on the border or something like that over there by Davenport or something.
Probably Quad Cities.
Yep. The couple have been arrested and charged with possession and transportation of a dangerous drug. Coincidentally, in a separate traffic stop in southern Arizona the same day, authorities found 88 pounds of meth in a vehicle. So, well, we all know where the meth is coming from, evidently.
I'm surprised the charges are just possession and transportation. I mean, that is definitely distribution amount right there.
It's more than distribution.
There's no question about that.
It's enough to get the whole side of the Eastern Shore.
I mean, you want to talk about RICO charges? That's got
good
RICO
Lord
written all over it.
Yeah, it's like, man, that's a tad bit of some bust there, man.
Yeah,
I don't know what to tell you, man. That is a lot of.
That's enough to rot all of your teeth and then some.
Yeah, it's about to do something. So, hey, I tell you what that sound is? Well, that sound is time for us to take a quick little break. And when we come back, well, we got some more stories, including a pastor that just recently, Josh, was put in jail for, wrong button there, Josh, sorry.
Oops.
I got too many buttons here.
Still learning all
well, I moved my thing around here, and now I got all my screen turned sideways, and it's a whole mess, so I'm trying to get that all figured out. But anyways, hey, we got some more news and stuff coming up, including the Girl Scout cookies that we're taking advantage of. The
money from them.
The money from them. The pastor who's going to spend some time in jail, and some other things that you may not know about, including, Josh, do you need a golden capped toilet?
I need the money that could buy one.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to tell you where you can buy one if you're in the market, or they have already gone. But we can tell you if you're one of those lucky bidders on that. Right after this,
I can tell you right now, I'm not.
There ain't one at this place.
No.
We'll be right back with more right after this on HTV1.
El Cerrito's variety-packed menu has something for everyone. With generous servings and lots of flavor, you'll think of it as a fiesta for your taste buds. Dine in or carry out at El Cerrito on Chicago Street in downtown Coldwater and Carlton Road in Hillsdale.
There's a reason the professionals shop at Jonesville Lumber. They receive quality, service, and knowledge. For nearly 100 years, Jonesville Lumber has been serving our community with great products at competitive prices. Let Jonesville Lumber help you with your next project.
Does your vehicle sound like a tractor putting down the road? Then you need to see the experts at RS Custom Exhaust in Hillsdale. They will give you a free estimate along with first-class customer service. They custom make any exhaust needed for your vehicle. Stop and see them today, located at 1461 Vera Drive in Hillsdale.
The Sunrise Shops are here to serve you. Stop in and try one of our signature coffee blends, or even try one of our 16-head fountain sodas. With convenient locations in Jonesville, Sunrise Shops are always right around the corner. The Saucy Dogs is the name, and barbecue is the game. Come on down for a good time and some great food.
At Saucy Dogs, try our barbecue nachos or our tasty ribs. We'll have you howling for more. Saucy Dogs, downtown Jonesville.
Hey, welcome back to the show. I'm Scott Pienta along with my co-host, Mr. Josh Culetta.
Hello.
We're here back in Studio B. Studio A-B, 1B, Studio 1
Something like that.
Something like that.
1.5.
Well, welcome to the show. This is, if you haven't seen this show before, well, it's called So This Is News, and we talk about all kinds of things that are really just news-related, things from a local, national, regional news. We talk about all of that stuff here. You're encouraged as a viewer to join along. We ask you to join along because it's we appreciate this is a podcast. It's a little more informal, as you see.
Yep.
I'm not in a shirt and tie. I'm just a little more relaxed, man.
Yeah.
Just kind of sitting back, enjoying the show.
It's not a newscast. It's a show about the news.
It's a show about the news, and we talk about all stuff. And it could be serious. It could be everything in between. But hey,
my apologies to George Brewstar.
I don't know who that is.
I don't think anyone who's actually watching right now would.
I'm like, who is it?
Friend of mine.
Oh, okay. All right. So getting to the next story, Josh. Well, this next story, it really doesn't have any video with it. Even though I wish we would have had video, we could have got the video of him going to jail. That'd have been nice.
We do have his picture somewhere.
I don't have time to grab it. So why don't you go ahead and take over this thing?
Alrighty. This is somewhat local. It actually took place across the state, but it has local ties. A former pastor of Coldwater's St. Charles Borromeo and Union City's Our Lady of Fatima Catholic Churches has been sentenced as part of Michigan's ongoing investigation into abuse committed by clergy. WTVB, the Daily Reporter, and WLKI report that 57-year-old Brian Stanley, most recently of Coloma, was sentenced in Allegan County Circuit Court yesterday to 60 days in jail with credit for 2 days already served. Stanley previously pleaded guilty to one felony count of attempted false imprisonment. The case came about after documents seized from the Catholic Church by the Michigan Attorney General's office revealed accusations that in 2013, Stanley had wrapped a boy in plastic wrap and masking tape and locked him in a closet as punishment. The boy had been brought to Stanley for counseling for poor grades and drug use. Attorney General Dana Nessel has previously said that Stanley had shown a pattern of using that method, and her office treated it as a sex crime. The Kalamazoo Diocese put Stanley on administrative leave in January of 2017, and he has been barred from ministry. At that time, additional incidents were brought to the attention of Branch County authorities, but investigators were unable to pursue the case because the alleged victim declined to participate. Once Stanley is released from jail, he'll spend 5 years on probation and will have to register as a sex offender for the next 15 years.
Well, he needs to go to prison.
Yeah, I mean, it's a slap on the wrist compared to what it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, I think really I don't know.
Do you want to be wrapped in saran wrap?
Well, here's my thing. I understand why Nessel isn't fighting for a harder sentence.
It's to make a point.
It's a volume thing. Mm-hmm. It is to make the point, but it's also a volume thing. This is an ongoing investigation. It's been going on for several years now, pretty much ever since she took that office. Mm-hmm. The goal is to basically out all of the wrongdoing in churches, prosecute them, whether it's, a light sentence or hard sentence, whatever, and, say this is no longer tolerable. If this gets, if you try to cover this up, we will go after you. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, 60 days in jail and 5 years probation is not exactly a.
Well, I mean, it's and like I think they wanted to bring
sentence.
I think they wanted to bring a stronger case, but the biggest problem is they couldn't find any other witnesses to come forward.
I think if this had been if they had been able to add the Branch County charges, if that alleged victim had been willing to participate, then they could have done something more, or at least brought charges in Branch County as well as Allegan County.
Right.
But I think that just even on the Allegan County case, that deserved a stronger sentence.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, there was clearly the evidence there to say that, this was a pattern with Stanley, that this is something that he's been doing for years. Whether or not the alleged victim in Branch County had decided, and there were actually, if I recall correctly, there were multiple people in Branch County, both Coldwater and Union City, who had said that this had been done. Not that they had necessarily filed a criminal report with the police, but that they had acknowledged that they knew this was going on. So it's, to me, again, it's just kind of a slap on the wrist. I get it. I understand why it was done that way, but I think there still probably could have been more done.
Yep, no, I agree. Getting on to the next story. Sorry, I was changing some of my commercials for the next break. Sorry. This one here,
producing the show while
yeah.
performing
This is live, folks. There ain't nothing taped here. This is as live as you can get.
This is the control room, by the way.
Yeah.
This is there's no one behind the scenes.
There's nobody behind the scenes. I'm doing it right here. You see me off typing or whatever I'm doing. I'm commenting and I'm talking and this is a live operation.
And I'm doing a little bit of the same myself.
But one of the things that we did want to talk about here was a controversial test well that was put in. Now, this happened. We covered this story quite a bit last year. The controversial test well in northwest of Fayette has been approved by the Ohio EPA, Josh. The Bryan Times says, in WLKI say the well, planned by Artesian of Pioneer, was approved in a letter from the agency to Artesian of Pioneer president and Pioneer mayor Ed Kidston. Now, that was a whole argument there in itself because he was a mayor. He also owned the company in the town, and he was trying to pump water out of the town to the city of Toledo is what he was planning on. Kidston had applied for the test well as part of a plan to pump water from the Michindoh Aquifer to the suburbs of Toledo, which at the time were considering their options to leave the city of Toledo's water system. All of the agencies, Josh, that Kidston had proposed selling local water to have since formed their own thing. So I guess it's kind of a good thing in a way that this all happened. So, but it now leaves Kidston's playing in limbo.
A leveraging tool.
Right.
It was the whole thing. I don't think Kidston intended it to be a leveraging tool. He thought he could actually sell them on it. But, it was the perfect opportunity for them to say, hey, to go to Toledo and say, we've got this other option ready to go. So if you don't give us a better deal, then we're leaving.
Yep.
So, it was...
And it took them a while. They finally all came to an agreement, and it took them,
And it was basically, because what was going on was these other, it was other municipalities, and there was another regional entity that covered several municipalities. They had this deal with the city of Toledo that they were basically buying water from the city. They didn't have any say as to how the utility was run. They didn't have any input. It was just, you're buying water from us. That's it. So this new deal that they struck with the city of Toledo basically created a whole new entity to oversee all of it, and each individual entity gets a say and control over this new regional water commission. So that, in a way, I think Kidston unwittingly helped that come about.
Well, this is good. Oh, sorry. I mean, yawn. Oh, my goodness. It's been a long day already. I'm tired of the show already, evidently. Oh, my goodness. Man, your smoothing voice, Josh, just put me to sleep there.
My dulcet tones.
Yeah. The letter, now dated yesterday, says the Ohio EPA found the application in compliance with all other laws and requirements for the drinking water well and approves the facility as long as it continues to meet requirements. Now, this is one point of contention, the name of the Michindoh Aquifer, Josh.
Which it kind of has been all along. This isn't anything new, but...
Right, but the Bryan Times reports that the city of Bryan actually came up with the name, the Michindoh Aquifer, in the 2000s to try to make it a single-source aquifer, but it's actually, from the Ohio EPA, says it's part of a larger aquifer, so it's not a single-source aquifer. So, but it did, come up with the coalition of several states.
And I think the the key point there is the OEPA also said it needs more study,
which they're getting $500,000
yes,
to for the next couple of years.
The coalition of the regional coalition of counties is also helping to look into that. But I think to say that we know for certain that it's not its own thing is a little premature, since we don't really know.
Right, and that's why they're doing the study.
Yeah.
But Josh, how much do you know about water?
Fair amount. I'm not, a geologist.
Well, we're going into the Ohio. We're going to go to Ohio EPA and say we're going to do the study on the water and tell them where it's from. I don't know how we're going to study it, but we're going to figure it out for $500,000. I'll figure it out.
Well, I mean, that's
for 2 years.
Again,
that's all we got to do is bluff them for 2 years.
The Ohio, Michigan, Indiana Regional Council of Governments is there for is to direct that study. So, I mean, in a way, you and I are essentially going to the state of Ohio and saying, hey, we will be glad to.
I just want them to hire us. I just want them to hire us. It's $500,000, $250,000 a year.
Well, I think Mark Wiley is the Hillsdale County representative.
There we go. We know Mark.
Council,
we're just gonna hey Mark. We're gonna put our name in the hat, Mark. I'm just telling you, if you're watching right now, if you're gonna watch later, we have no
idea what we're doing, but
we do know what we're doing. I have water in here, and if it tastes the same as the aquifer, we're good. If it tastes any different, it's coming.
That's the question being asked.
If it tastes any different, it's coming from a different aquifer. Study over 250,000, 500,000, please. Thank you. Oh boy. Well, what do you go? What do you get, man? So hey, talking about this one here. Here's the story that I was going to talk to you about, Josh.
Yes.
The
gold-seated commodes.
Yeah, the gold-seated commodes. Talk about flushing your money down the toilet, Josh. Fans of the late Frank Sinatra shelled out thousands of dollars to purchase his gold-seated commodes at an auction over the weekend. One of the Italian...
Was Trump one of them? This looks like something he would buy.
Listen, Josh, I love a good commode. One of the Italian marble in gold-seated toilets fetched more than $4,000.
Jeez.
So it's needless to say they weren't a piece of shit, right?
Well, I mean, if
Can we say that? Can we say that?
Oh, we can if you really want to.
But they were among numerous items auctioned Sunday. The furnishings came from Sinatra's massive executive suite at the former Golden Nugget Casino in Atlantic City. He sang there for several years.
Golden Nugget, make of that what you will.
Yeah. He sang there for several years after the casino mogul Steve Wynn opened the hotel in 1980. According to the auction house, no one besides Sinatra was allowed to stay in the suite when Sinatra wasn't in residence. So there you go. If you need a golden commode,
I'll tell you, if I had $400,000, it was what, $400,000?
No,
or
$4,000.
$4,000.
I make $400,000. I'm going to become famous and sell my commode too.
Seriously. Okay, $4,000. Even still, $4,000. I would, and it was marble and gold. I would do something other than something you would sit on and crap into with that material.
Well, hey, somebody's got money to throw away, that's for sure.
I suppose. I mean...
Well, I tell you what, it's that time again. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be talking some more things, including Conagra Foods.
Yes.
Is that how you say it, Josh?
Conagra.
Conagra. I say Conagra. You say Conagra.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you're saying Conagra.
I'm saying Conagra. Whatever. It doesn't matter how we say it. I'm just saying that I'm saying it correctly. You're saying it different. Forget about it. All right? Give me a cannoli here. All right? So when we come back, we're going to be talking some more stuff, including not toilets anymore, but definitely talking about Conagra Foods.
Talking about toilet humor.
Talking about the Toledo Express, and that Cookie Money bandit there. We're going to talk about her and her trouble she's gotten into from the Girl Scouts. We'll be right back to more right after this on HTV1. And so this is news.
Tired of having everyone know you're coming before you arrive because of your exhaust? If so, then it's time to call the experts at RS Custom Exhaust in Hillsdale. RS Custom Exhaust has all the tools and parts to make your vehicle quiet again. And for you sports car enthusiasts, if you're looking for the roar to be the king of the roads, RS Custom Exhaust can help you too. With free estimates and first-class service, RS Custom Exhaust has your vehicle covered. So stop and see them today, located at 1461 Vera Drive in Hillsdale.
The Sunrise Shops are here to serve you. With drinks to quench every thirst and snacks aplenty, we have a great convenience selection. At Sunrise, we brew our signature coffee every day to ensure its freshness. We also have the area's largest 16-head fountain soda machine. No wonder our customers keep coming back. Great quality, great service, that's Sunrise. With convenient locations in Jonesville, Sunrise Shops are always right around the corner.
Hey, we're back, and my Midwestern accent, Josh and I are talking off the air here about my Mid-Southern, or my Midwestern accent, he calls it, my Conagra Foods.
There you go.
So
that was right.
Was it right? Conagra?
Right. No, now you
Conagra.
got
Conagra.
There you go.
Whatever. It's a food.
I'm teasing him because the way he usually says it sounds like Conagra.
Conagra. Well, it's kind of like Allegra, if in case you're allergic to food. That's why you got to kind of.
That's an A, not an E.
You got to put it together. So yeah, I'll let you take this one, Josh.
Yeah, the reason we're talking about Conagra. Is because Conagra has announced its plans to expand at the food company's Archbold plant. The Bryan Times says the company is investing $40 million in the project, which will add roughly 100 new jobs to the existing 370 positions at the plant. Plant manager Ron Corkins says this is part of last year's purchase of Pinnacle Foods, and he credits the existing Archbold staff's commitment to the company's success as part of the reason why the plant was chosen for the expansion. Conagra has a wide variety of brands to its name, including Birdseye, Healthy Choice, Duncan Hines, Marie Callender's, and Chef Boyardee, just to name a few. Northwest Ohio.
You know, I've been in Chef Boyardee's old house.
Have you really?
You know, people don't think that guy really exists.
No, that was real.
He was a real person. Yeah. I did when I lived in Maryland. When I had my company out there in Maryland, I got a call to go fix a sound system and some video stuff at this house. You know, and my studio, or my studio wasn't a studio. My video store, my audio video store was in Easton, Maryland. Yeah, and we had got a call from. Sorry about that. I got a call from. This housekeeper or groundskeeper, as his job was. Yeah. He was really the property manager. But anyways, it went out to this mansion. It was a beautiful mansion, 38,000 square foot, all marble. It was in a big shape of a U, and it was right up on the water, and helicopter pad and everything else, but it wasn't. It used to belong to Shepherd. I mean, the basement was just massive. It was like an old school boiler system. I mean, just marble pillars everywhere. It's just this house was just massive. I mean, it was like 52 bedrooms, and it had all the workers there. Well, the person who had bought it for, who I was working for, and I only met him the one time, was the founder of Nextel. He invented him and his partner invented the lingo, and so and then now they own Sprint and blah blah blah. And, so it was his summer house, they called it, a summer house, and you want to know where your money goes, folks, for the Sprint bill. Like, I pay my Sprint bill, I know where that money goes. It goes into a lot of wild parties that happen out there, and it's pretty crazy. The guy bought this house. I can't remember how many millions of dollars he bought it for. The groundskeeper told me, but he at the time I've been there. I met him one time, and he only been there one other time in the 2 years that he owned that property. Yeah. You know, I mean, it was a massive, massive property. Wow. I know his kids did, several $100,000 worth of damage to a party one night, but, because the guy just wrote the check. He's like, kids will be kids. Kids will be kids. Let me write that check for $200,000 to fix that stuff. Yeah. Raise the prices on Sprint. That's what pretty much happens.
That's why my phone bill went up that year.
Yeah, it's pretty much it, man. I'm telling you what. But anyways, you were saying I've stopped you.
Northwest Ohio is a hub of packaged food in the United States, with the food processing industry investing more than $500 million in the area in the last 3 years, creating almost 1,000 new jobs in that time. Production on the new Conagra line is expected to begin in the spring of 2021.
Well, I think that's good. You know, I've never been into their plants. I always wanted to go
in the area.
Go by. Maybe we could do a show on one of their plants or see what's going on in there, because I love Bird's Eye. Yeah, I get some of their vegetables, and I stay away from Marie Callen. Well, I guess they got some low fat stuff, but I'm on a diet. I'm on a diet. I'm looking.
I believe Healthy Choice is on that list as well.
Healthy Choice is definitely on that list. And what's the other one that's a good name too?
Duncan Hines.
Duncan Hines. Yep. Yeah, I definitely stay away from them.
Stay away from that.
Yeah, I stay away from the Duncan. Yeah, I stay away from Duncan and Mr. Sis Hines, because my Hines then will look like his. This another story. The Bryan woman accused of stealing money from the Girl Scout of America has pleaded guilty, Josh. Now this comes in from WTVB. Says 36-year-old Kathy Jo Contreras took a plea deal in Branch County Circuit Court yesterday. She was initially facing 33 counts in relations to stealing a total of $1,280 from 4 different bank accounts on 11 separate occasions. A deal she took dismisses those charges in exchange for counts of attempted forgery, attempted uttering and publishing, and attempted identity theft. So she'll face sentencing here coming up in March.
Which, I mean, for one thing, it was a foregone conclusion that was going to be a plea deal. 33 counts. I mean, that's just overwhelming. You're either going to take the plea deal or you're going to jail for a very, very long time. But I think, this is probably going to be an ideal situation in a plea deal case where it's still a significant punishment. We have yet to see exactly what the sentencing is going to be, obviously, but I get the feeling it's probably going to be significant.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure it will. Well, you know what the sound of that music sounds like? It sounds like we're going to take another quick break, and we're going to come back to our fourth and final segment of So This Is News. We end it right around 3:30. So while we take this quick break and get a drink of water, and Josh drinks whatever he's drinking, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. When we come back, we'll be right back into some more of This Is News. And, what do we got coming up? Gosh, I don't have it in front of me, Josh. We got
free room and board.
Yeah, free room and board for Valentine's Day. And McDonald's has got something new.
No hair Barbies.
Yeah, no hair Barbies. That could go a lot of different ways, Josh. We'll be right back. More of that right after this on HTV1. And so this is news.
Authentic Mexican food is just a short drive away at El Cerrito in Coldwater and Hillsdale. The variety-packed menu has something for everyone, with classic Mexican dishes, El Cerrito specialties, and tasty treats for dessert. Don't forget the best margaritas in town, with margarita specials Friday and Saturday. And carry-out ordering is great for work lunches or picking up dinner for the family. Make your next meal a fiesta for your taste buds at El Cerrito on Chicago Street in downtown Coldwater and Carlton Road in Hillsdale.
There's a reason that professionals shop at Jonesville Lumber. They expect quality, service, and knowledge. And that's exactly what they receive. For nearly 100 years, Jonesville Lumber has been family-owned. We take pride in serving our area with great products at competitive prices. We have dedicated project estimators in-house that will help figure the materials needed to complete your next task at hand. Whether you're building your dream home, adding a pole barn, building a deck, updating your kitchen, or painting your front door, let Jonesville Lumber help you with your next project. The Saucy Dogs is the name, and barbecue is the game. Come on down for a good time and some great food. At Saucy Dogs, try our barbecue nachos or our tasty ribs. We'll have you howling for more. Saucy Dogs, downtown Jonesville.
Oh, Josh, we missed a story. Hey!
We did.
Yeah, we did miss a story. You know what we missed?
Something about Toledo Express Airport.
We did miss the Toledo Express Airport. And I always forget to turn our little ticker on the bottom. I have to program that in so it comes on here automatically. Hey!
Need shortcuts set up.
We also got a message from Eyeballs from Deb
Trevall Clark, I believe. Yes.
Hey, Deb, thanks for watching. I can't believe you stuck around this long to watch us two fruitcakes here. But hey,
Speak for yourself.
It's not even fruitcake season. No. That's over with.
That's long gone by now.
So, hey, thanks for checking us out. And if you have any comments or questions, hey, shoot them in the chat group. We'll keep an eye on it and throw it up and in here. But one story we didn't cover, Josh, was Toledo Express Airport.
Yep.
Why don't you talk about that one? I'll let you do that one. Cue the next
busy.
Story.
They're busy at the Toledo Express Airport. And in 2019, with continued growth in traffic, the Swanton Enterprise says there was an increase of 1.69% in overall passengers over the past year, with a total of 245,389 passengers. And that may seem small, but you're talking about multiple hundreds of passengers. 1.69% is a pretty good increase. Most of those passengers came from American Airlines routes to Chicago, Charlotte, or other destinations, accounting for 131,267 passengers. Allegiance routes to and from destinations in Florida made up the bulk of the remainder, with 111,888 passengers. That's quite an interesting number.
It is.
That, by the way, is a 4.27% increase over 2018. Charter flights were up over 25% from the previous year, carrying 2,234 passengers. And the month of December itself saw growth from the previous December, with traffic up over 17% between the 2 years. Allegiant is expected to grow the airport's traffic further this year as well, with a notable 33% increase in seats for the spring break trips alone in March, and year-round routes to St. Pete Clearwater and Fort Myers Punta Gorda. Officials say the growth solidifies the point that there is a market for air travel in Northwest Ohio, so you don't have to go to Cleveland or Detroit or...
Well, for me, I'm going to be flying out here in just over... Well, not really. Let's see, we're 2 months away.
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Yeah, I'll be back by then. So April. So I'll be, we'll be going out to Las Vegas. I'll be out in Las Vegas.
Yes.
There's no we unless I'm bringing my alter ego with me.
Yeah.
But I'll be going out there for the national, my imaginary friend, the National Association of Broadcasters. We'll be out there doing our thing. Josh will be back here holding manna down the fort, but we'll also still be doing our shows.
Thought.
Yeah, it is a scary thought. I'll wait for the place to burn down when I get back. So. We'll be out there, but for me to go to Toledo, it's the same if I go to Detroit. And
it's about a 20-mile difference. Yeah, 70 to Toledo, 90 to Detroit. So
so
not that big of a deal.
It's not that big of a deal, in drive time. But I know I fly Delta a lot of times, they have that direct flight right from there to Vegas. So I just jump on the plane. It's easy in, easy out for me. But that's what I think a lot of people look for, is that easy in, easy out. Get to your flight and get on and go. The only way I can speed this up any faster is for me to buy my own plane.
Yeah.
So if you want to donate a plane, gently used G5 jet or newer G6, yeah, that's cool. We'll take it. I mean,
I personally want a Cessna Citation.
That's fine too. I mean, if you want to donate it, we'll take it. We'll even put your name on the side. We'll even give you some some free promos on our big station here. So we'll even do that,
Hook
for
up
you.
A sign banner behind the plane.
We'll put a sign banner behind the plane. We'll fly really slow.
So.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll fly really slow around the county really quick. But anyways, that's the thing is, that's how that would go.
Yep.
All right, another story.
Real quick, I did want to add to that. One thing we did not include in our broadcast of that story was that officials did note that, the more this growth occurs, the more routes they can add to other places to add those direct flights. So
nice.
So that will hopefully continue.
I have to take a look at it.
Yeah.
Well, this just in. Well, the Valentine's Day is just weeks away, and the hotel in Canada is offering a spicy alternative to traditional evening outings. Well, instead of a night out at the opera or an elegant dinner at a fine dining restaurant, British Columbia's Hotel Z is offering a somewhat naughtier option. It's called the Nooner Baby Maker Special. The Nooner Baby Special. The Nooner Baby Maker Special. Now, you couples can book a room for 4 hours from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m., presumably for sex. They've offered the Nooner for 5 years, but this year they're adding a twist. They're adding, I guess, a third person, maybe. No, if the couple welcomes,
Not sure.
yeah, if the couple welcomes a new baby 9 months after their stay, well, guess what? They can receive a Valentine's Day stay for the next 18 years.
That's not a bad deal.
That's not a bad deal. You get the Nooner and a free vacation.
More than you get out of fumblings in the back seat, that's for sure.
You get, maybe GMC will offer something, or Cadillac. Get a free Cadillac out of it for 18 years. Yeah, buddy.
If you conceive at one of our dealerships.
Yeah, we're gonna figure that stuff out, man. We're gonna try to figure a way to make some money in some of those things. Anywho, Josh, if you didn't know, the Burger King, McDonald's.
No, see, I'm trying to get free meals here.
Yeah,
so yeah, where's my shot?
Yeah,
there we go.
There you go.
Give me free burgers.
Yeah, free burgers.
But no, this story is actually about their competition.
This is about McDonald's is drawing a new battle lines in the fast food sandwich chain. The chain is adding the fried chicken sandwiches to its breakfast menu starting on Monday, February 3rd. Customers across the country will be able to get the Chicken McGriddle and McChicken biscuit sandwiches. The new offerings put the classic crispy McChicken in between either sweet maple McGriddle cakes or a battered biscuit. I guess it could be trying to go on after like chicken and waffles type of thing. Both are available for a limited time only, though. So if you want to try these things out, well, you better get in there soon to get on that. And then getting into the next thing, Josh, well, we want to talk about this, which is Barbie. The no-hair Barbie, actually, Josh. Barbie dolls are known for getting makeovers, but this time the toys are evolving to better reflect the children who play with them. Barbie says the new release of the toys is the brand's most diverse doll line yet. Some of the new Barbies have a rainbow-colored hair or no hair at all. Others have wheelchairs or prosthetic limbs, and they come in a varied skin tones.
If you think about it, though, pretty much any Barbie is capable of having a prosthetic limb if you're playing with them the wrong way.
Just G.I. Joes with explosives. One has, vitiligo. Is that how you say that?
Looks like vitiligo.
Vitiligo?
That's what I'm getting from the pronunciation there, yep.
That's a disease in which blotches of the skin lack pigment. Oh, well, I just should have said that.
Okay, I'm familiar with that.
I'm familiar with it.
I had never heard the name for it, but
No,
I'm
I
familiar
haven't either.
with that.
So there you go. Barbie says Barbie says on its website the dolls are to add more diversity for endless storytelling possibilities. Mattel has been criticized in the past for its unrealistic portrayal of beauty. So there you go.
Cool.
New Barbies are going to be.
I dig it.
The coming out with a new hair, no hair, and no things at all, and wheelchairs.
I vaguely remember. I think there was I'm pretty sure my sister had one.
A Barbie with no hair?
Yeah, it was. Well, it wasn't specifically no hair, but it had Velcro on the Barbie's head so that you could replace hairstyles. And I seem to recall that being fairly popular for the option to go bald. So yeah, that's a pretty good move by Mattel there, I think.
I think it's a good move by them. They need to do something. You know,
Yeah.
kids want to see something that looks more like them instead of
Exactly.
that
Representation is important.
But just you don't need that lady that made herself into look like Barbie. That's all you don't need.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine a Barbie doll designed after the woman who made herself to look like Barbies? How deformed that would be.
It'd be horrible.
Or the Ken doll. The guy who made himself look like a Ken doll.
It would be some. Well, that's got to be tough there to make himself look like a Ken doll. That's a chop and a half.
That picture?
No, I don't want to.
Man, it's weird.
It's got to be smooth.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If you feel the need to shape yourself as you see yourself in your mind, by all means, go for it. But if you're going for a look of a plastic doll that is entirely inhuman looking, prepare to get ridiculed because it's just It's weird, man.
It
it's
is.
real weird.
Well, that's going to end this week's show. I tell you what, I want to thank you all for checking us out. Tune in tomorrow. We got more mayhem and mischief going on here, as well as some more news stories.
You can protect yourself from mayhem like us.
That's right. You should get Allstate. We have to get them for a sponsor now. Damn it.
Well, see, that's what
there we go.
What I'm saying. We give free We give free sponsorships. We get free stuff in return.
It's exactly
That's
free
my whole
insurance
goal
for
here.
18 years. I'm Scott Pienta, along with my co-host for this show, Mr. Josh Coletta. We want to say,
have a good afternoon, everyone.
Authentic Mexican food is just a short drive away at El Cerrito in Coldwater and Hillsdale. The variety-packed menu has something for everyone, with classic Mexican dishes, El Cerrito specialties, and tasty treats for dessert. Don't forget the best margaritas in town, with margarita specials Friday and Saturday. And carry-out ordering is great for work lunches or picking up dinner for the family. Make your next meal a fiesta for your taste buds at El Cerrito on Chicago Street in downtown Coldwater and Carlton Road in Hillsdale.
There's a reason that professionals shop at Jonesville Lumber. They expect quality, service, and knowledge. And that's exactly what they receive. For nearly 100 years, Jonesville Lumber has been family owned. We take pride in serving our area with great products at competitive prices. We have dedicated project estimators in-house that will help figure the materials needed to complete your next task at hand. Whether you're building your dream home, adding a pole barn, building a deck, updating your kitchen, or painting your front door, let Jonesville Lumber help you with your next project.